as you're arguing back and forth and the conversation's happening, you realize that there's something on your lap.
Ooh?
There's something on your lap.
I look down to my lap.
It's Barbosa.
What you find on your lap
It's a sword.
What?
Barbosa.
is
Called it.
Ashura, who has at some point sat on your lap, has her arms around your neck and is very intently listening to the conversation, not sure how to follow up.
What? How
But
did you even get here?
Iris goes straight back. It's like, okay, fine. We have two options. I become an Ovane priestess, which is probably heretical, maybe. I mean, I follow shit, like, we could find an outfit for that. Or I
Yes,
could dress
a
myself
dress.
in plate armor. It's not a dress. Is it a dress?
It is a dress.
I don't want to wear it.
It's too bad. I can teach you how to
How
be a
am I meant to
priestess
kick
better.
things in a dress?
You're not supposed to kick things, you're supposed to be a woman.
Wait. Says the one who can bench press me if she wanted.
I'm
She's
not a
still
woman,
wearing
I'm a
dress.
soldier.
I said,
And I am
to the
still
skirts of
wearing
her
a
plate
dress.
armor.
Look at my goddamn picture.
Soldier.
I'm still wearing a dress.
Look at her picture and tell me that Aldean women don't wear dresses. No, you do. You have to have Adam.
Anyway, 74. What's the D100?
Right, so as this is going on, some people are walking outside and you overhear a bit of their conversation since you're near the window. They're talking apparently a new tavern that's older age nowadays. As for the name of the tavern, it's called the Times 5.
The times 5.
We should get drunk there later. Well,
No,
you
we
guys.
can't get drunk there later. We need to go to a meeting.
I mean, after the meeting.
Now, Alyssia, roll me investigation.
Okay.
The basic maths there.
7 times 5 is 45. Minus 5 equals 40. The thing that you were looking for is times 5. The name
Isn't
of
that
the
the name of
tavern.
the bar?
God damn it.
Yeah.
Alright, there you go. Math.
Wow.
Math,
And
fuckers.
Alyssia
Math.
realized raising an eyebrow. Oh, that makes much more sense.
What does? I'm still stroking Ashura's hair, by the way. This
It
entire
appears I have
time.
It appears I or more people have some place to be.
By the way, it seems that at some point Ashura has nodded off. She is slightly sleeping on your chest now.
Iris, what do I do? I don't.
Carrier? Technically, she's a sword. She smirks.
Okay.
Ash, I just want to tell you out of character, even the sword wears a dress.
Shut the fuck up.
Also, Alyssia leans in. Oh, she's adorable, isn't she?
Don't ever say that again.
But she is. So tiny
Lucretia,
and
it's-
beautiful and deadly.
It's almost like you
Hmm.
want to agree with the whole cute aspect, but you're holding back.
I'm kind of like semi-shielding Ashura away from Alyssia. I don't know, the way she just says, "Aw, she's so cute," it's just like, oh shit, she's gonna stab this bitch, isn't she?
I did clarify that she's so tiny and adorable and deadly.
Okay. I guess I'll just carry the demon sword around.
I'm
She's not
sworn
trying-
to carry your burdens.
I'm not. She's not trying to suck my blood right now, so whatever.
I'm gonna assume that you guys are probably gonna take a peek out, at least for curiosity's sake, inside the tavern before anything else, right? However, as you guys take a peek inside the tavern and some of the patrons, Lucretia and Horatius in particular immediately notice something's off. You can wear all the cloth and all the cloaks you want. You can't hide when you're wearing Ovian armor and have Ovian weapons underneath.
Oh, is somebody doing that?
Yes,
Hey,
half the
Expertia?
tavern is full of people wearing Ovian gear.
Expertia?
Yep.
It's them, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Hey, Expertia.
Yep.
They've got armor and weapons in there, right?
Yeah, that's why you could tell them apart. They're trying to be discreet with cloaks and cloth, but you can distinctively see the gear underneath.
Well, there you go. I have an armory, Klein thinks. I could use every weapon and piece of gear in that room.
From what you can tell, they aren't doing anything suspicious, they're just very quietly enjoying a drink and some food. There's not even much conversation on their end of the tavern. However, you do notice that there are still a lot of locals here, so if you cause a scene, it's gonna be a problem.
Well, I'm gonna try and, get in as sneakily as possible, but I think it's fairly obvious I'm gonna be laser sighting on trying to find the Belford traitor.
Sadly, like I said earlier to Iris, the bouncer stops you at the front door and says, "Back of the line, sir, no cutting."
I just square up to him, look him dead in the eyes, and say, I'm on the list.
You wanna roll intimidation?
I did.
Oh shit, you already did.
Oh my Jesus Christ.
Oh shit.
He is on the
Oh
list.
shit.
You
It
could
seems
just-
he is on the
You can
list.
feel
as you
the
walk up to
tension
him,
in the air.
right into his personal space and square off with him and tell him, "I'm on the list," there's an awkward silence. The guy doesn't flinch, but you see that he's actively starting to sweat. Until he suddenly remembers that you're on the list and steps to the side.
By the way,
silently follow after Horatius.
I'm gonna grab onto Lucy and I'm gonna basically latch onto Horatius' side as if, yeah, we're together, bye.
Yeah, no, I basically stand in between him and you guys as you go through the door, and then as I walk through, I just keep my eyes on him for a second, just as I dare you to mention it.
As you can imagine, the other patrons that are waiting in line to get in are immediately disgruntled. Some of them even say some nasty things that even though Lucretia is now old enough to hear, Esper isn't, so we're gonna refrain from doing that.
My character may be legal, but I'm not.
Which is the thing we keep shouting at Sibby.
As you can imagine, this draws the attention of some of the patrons inside, especially those patrons that know that they're in, well, enemy territory and they should always be on guard. It doesn't take much to get their attention. As you can imagine, they immediately notice you guys walking in. However, as their eyes are drawn to you, you notice that their leader is not among them. However, shortly after, from the second floor of the tavern, you spot a familiar face. As soon as... there we go.
I kind of.
I assume you popped her picture up. I already had it up, but nothing changed for me.
Yeah. So she appears on the second floor and looks down because apparently she was alerted, and she spots you guys.
I want to kind of like lock eyes with her and just kind of like give her a glare and just hug her, Horatius's arm closer, like, I know you geosed him, piece of shit.
As she locks eyes with you, Horatius, then with Lucretia, then back to you, Horatius, and you see sadness and disappointment clear on her face.
We have unfinished business.
As you say that, she just closes her eyes for a moment and takes a deep breath. She then starts going down the stairs. As you can imagine, in unison, her entire unit begins standing up from their seats, but she just gives them a dismissive gesture, and they immediately sit back down, even though half the room is looking very intently at you. Luckily, most of the other tavern people are already drunk and don't give a fuck, so they don't notice what's happening.
I was about to say,
She starts approaching you and stops as she's a few feet away from you, and she just nudges with her face towards the door for you guys to step out.
Oh, that works too. I was about to be like, go over to an empty table and in a loud voice be like, any local here that wants to leave, now is the time.
Now is the time, shit's about to hit the fan.
I want to
So,
kind
are you
of.
going to allow her to exit the tavern?
I want to kind of put an arm in front of Horatius whenever we get like close to her, because I know you Giosed him. I can undo Gios, but still, how dare you?
No, I actually meant it when I said our conversation wasn't finished last time. And while giving her the suspicious look of "you're fucking scum," I'm gonna, walk outside with her.
Since
Mostly
you
because
allow
I'm just
her,
confident Alyssia's somewhere.
since you allow her to exit, she leaves with you, and she leads you actually behind the tavern, because there's a few very good quiet streets there, back alleys, and then she stops there and waits for you. She doesn't say anything.
I'm obviously with him.
What about you, Iris? Are you going with them?
Yeah,
Or
sure.
are you keeping an eye on the tavern full of edgy Olvean clerics?
Despite knowing that your sister is here, I was still kind of hoping that you would leave. You've
knew I
really
couldn't
messed
leave.
things up.
Why are you still here?
Why wouldn't I be here? My job is not yet done.
When we spoke last time, you said you were still working for humanity. With Logan, of all people.
Horatius,
What are you doing here?
just because I am not a Novian knight anymore, that doesn't mean that I don't care about the Ovian people. That's why I'm here, and that's why you should have left while you still could.
What's Logan up to?
I can't tell you that.
Horatius just sort of stands there looking at her, breathing
Well.
in, breathing out, contemplating her.
Do you know where he is? I would like to talk to him.
Sadly, I don't know that either.
Can I roll
I
insight
have a
check?
few choice words for that man, but he is exceedingly difficult to find.
Could I roll
Do you even know
insight?
what he's capable of?
I'm more aware of it than you might know.
No,
10
Ash, you
years
can't
ago.
roll insight.
Oh, poor Ash.
10 years ago, when I had to flee from the Ovian Empire, he was the one that helped me escape.
Didn't have to flee, you made your choice.
She smiles bitterly as you say that, but doesn't reply.
Before this turns, well, uglier than this whole situation already is, are you going to stand in between us and that? I say, gesturing at the Sword of Damocles.
Stop calling it that!
Well, it's a fucking good analogy.
Sword of Damocles.
Your presence here complicates things. Tell me, what do you think's going to happen if you achieve victory here, despite all the odds being against you?
The city isn't going to be rubble.
Demons won't be able to attack us on both sides.
That's too narrow-minded. Think on a grander scale.
The Western Isles isn't going to aid the frontline offensive in the continent.
They would not aid the continent no matter what happens. Do you really think they'll forget our past?
The most important thing is that Agatha dies. The Overlord loses one of his generals here. That'll throw the rest of them all into chaos, give us a chance to strike back. So I ask you again, are you going to stand in between us and that?
She closes her eyes for a moment. You see that there's a complicated feeling on her face that you do not recognize. Then she slowly opens her eyes and says, "You give me no choice. I have to." Yeah.
Sorry, man. I'm going to roll initiative now.
Oh wait, before he does that, can I put a hand on his
God damn
shoulder
it.
and shake my
Yes,
head?
you can.
Like I'm like, don't.
Then why are you doing this?
How well versed are you in the royal bloodlines politics and how they choose the families that are closest to them?
Very.
Well, in that case, you know that those are some of the most deadliest games on this planet. As
Yes.
in, there's constant betrayal, constant death. They're all gunning for each other's throats, just so their masters would look at them and give them a treat. My family was also once again among those numbers, until 10 years ago, when they branded my family traitors. You are just a family on the fringes, despite your rich history and your grandfather's glory. Now you don't seem very dangerous, but if you return with a victory like this, your family is going to follow in my footsteps.
So, you want us to let this city die because if we don't and we win, our family status will be boosted up and immediately entered into the blood sports that is Ovean politics.
No, I'm telling you, your family is already on the chopping board. You're just going to give them another nudge to do it.
I understand what you're saying, but I've already made a promise to a friend of mine that I would do all I could to help her and her people, so I can't betray her trust.
Then I see that our discussion was pointless. We stand as we did before. I will stop you. Then I guess we'll meet again. Only next time, it's not our words that will be the way to reach each other, but our swords instead. And with that, she actually starts walking off and heading back towards the tavern.
Yes.
Word of advice: if you're going to rely on something, rely on your weapons. Why did you come unarmed? She looks confused as she says that.
I just
I
And if
kind
you
of
guys,
like a little grin and put my palm up to reveal I've been holding a knife this entire time.
I just kind of thumb my pendant.
she gives you a sly smile as you do that, and if you're not gonna stop her, she's gonna walk past you and head back towards the tavern.
I will not stop her.
I just want to say to everyone, out of character, I'm very disappointed you didn't let me, a religious zealot, my way into that.
Nope.
I could have taken her.
Iris just sighs. Well, it looks like she's not really in cahoots with Logan. More like a pawn. How disappointing.
Iris, I'm telling you, the next time I see that woman, mine.
I'm pretty sure by what she insinuated, the next time we see that woman, she's going to be trying to kill us anyway.
I just give you like a serious look and go, mine.
Iris just turns
I
away. She's
understand. I'll just kind of like, I will support you, and you can take her head if you wish.
Either way, as long as she doesn't get in my way, I don't care. There's bigger things than simply that.
Alyssia appears from out of the shadows.
If anything, it's
Carrying a
stranger
butter
that
knife?
there was nobody there.
Fucking butter knife, bitch.
Yeah, where's all the drug dealers? Jesus.
It's like, well, I take it from your expressions
Very
that this was
traumatic.
an entire waste, purely waste of time.
By both of us, do you mean you and Belford, or you and me?
I mean, me and Belford.
Oh.
I mean, I already outlined what I think my reality marvel looks like. It's already pretty heavy-handed symbolism. Just doubly applies to her.
It's starting to get late. Maybe you should head to the docks.
Yep, that's good for
Yep.
dogs.
To the docks. Whoa, 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 whoa. Adventure! Away!
Also, it is just so you remember, you still have that thing that the Heartsmith gave you, so you can contact her, but you kinda wrecked her house, so who knows how you stand with that. Maybe you should, I don't know, you should have looked into that at some point, but
Hey,
okay.
baby. How you
I'm
doing?
sure
Okay,
she's
I
fine.
made her a cake. Okay.
It's fine. I'll accidentally include her into my harem.
You can have her.
So as you approach the heavily guarded docks, Tina is there waiting for you guys, and as she sees you, she immediately waves you over with a smile.
Hey, Tina.
Hey guys, having a rough day? You guys seem to be all worn out.
We had a run-in with a old
Traitor.
new. Yeah.
Traitor? Huh. Did you kill him?
No.
No, I say looking at Iris.
Treat her to one of them anyway.
All of us.
No, not all of us.
Also, you say one of them. She is a traitor. Even
Yeah,
if
to Ovea.
unintentional. Yes.
And humanity.
I just heard over here.
Tina,
There's never a dull moment with you guys, huh?
more about this meeting.
I would prefer if you don't lump me in with them.
Carry on meeting. Gotcha.
Also, Iris, I think this would be a great time for you to listen and observe how you go through political meetings without the finesse of a sledgehammer.
Oh, you mean how it worked just now when your brother and you tried to stab that woman in the middle of the street? Yeah, that was great.
I did no
That
such
wasn't
thing.
a political meeting.
You were in the
One.
middle and gonna
Unfinished
get the
business.
police on us. I don't.
Alyssia.
One, that wasn't a political meeting. Two, I did no such thing.
Alyssia, since you're the one sitting out of this discussion, Tina leans over towards you and says, "So, what the hell were you guys doing? I've only left you for like a couple of hours."
We went to a tavern.
Sure, okay.
The 5 Times Tavern. Or times 5
Ah.
Tavern, whatever, which one?
I hear it's pretty good. Did you bring something? She looks as if you guys brought some souvenirs.
No, unfortunately, we got distracted.
Fine.
Next time.
Anyway, let's get going.
Yes. But yes, Iris, just
Oh, hiya.
I've seen you talk in political meetings, especially with the prince. Just listen and observe. I'm going to be on my best political behavior because I'm trying to set an example.
Listen here, you crippled.
Also, out of character, Adam. I just have to say, Edelbond King. No, sorry, Prince.
A man with brittle bones.
A man with brittle bones.
That was technically a political meeting.
Right. As you guys are taken inside, you're taken through a few checkpoints until eventually you come up to the main office building, at which point you are seated down inside one of the offices and are told to wait, along with Tina. After a few minutes, a woman walks into the office, just a second, and begins greeting you. Welcome to the port. My name is Nancy Porter.
Look,
if you'll excuse me,
Address.
if
That's
you
a
excuse
coat.
me, I'm a bit short on time. The only reason I agreed to this meeting is because of Tina, so can we get right to the point?
We need a way to get up to the airship.
Don't we all? She says that she sits behind her desk. Right. So from what I was told, you are ambassadors from the continent. It's
Yes.
funny, you don't look much like ambassadors.
We're ambassadors in the unorthodox fashion.
Well, right now we're in an unorthodox situation, so you're welcome.
I nod.
I believe I didn't give you my proper title. Excuse me, it's been a long day. I'm the Vice Admiral. Since the man in charge is currently, well, unavailable, I am the acting officer here. With the steel mill in its current condition, you could say that I am in charge of Grendel right now.
Then it's very good that we were able to meet with you.
Like I said, can we please keep the pleasantries? Let's get down to business.
Is there any way that you can get us up to that airship?
We're currently hard at work preparing the ships for, well, our date. She says that offhandedly. You see on her calendar she's marked on the day that's supposed to be Agatha's attack, assuming that demon keeps to her word. At any rate, something tells me that even with what we can scrounge up without allies, we won't stand a chance. That ship is heavily armored, plus its weapons are something beyond what we have. The city itself should be able to take quite the shelling since we've prepared for such a occasion. However, our fleet leaves much to be desired.
Luckily, we have allies that, well, we're offering our services.
Well, that sounds wonderful and all, but unless your allies can bring a few armies here, I doubt it's gonna be very useful or effective.
What do I know? I don't know much of what we have at Noble Moon.
Currently, you have the 7th company that is directly ordered by the prince to watch over Iris and do her bidding. However, keep in mind those are soldiers that work on the ground, so they're not gonna be exactly very useful versus a flying, shooting ship.
And that is true. We have ourselves, we have the masters, we potentially have that mage guy, we have Morgana, we have that sword. We don't have that much, but...
As you're thinking, she interrupts your train of thought and goes, if you want to be useful, we're arranging some transports to get the people out of here. You can help with the evacuation effort while the fleet keeps the ship busy.
I'll look to Iris while I'm trying to do political stuff. It is her call.
She basically indirectly told you that she thinks this is a lost cause and she's trying to evacuate the people so at least they can be saved.
Iris shakes her head.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be the best utilization of our specialties.
Do you know anything about machinery, robotics, flying ships?
No, but we do know a lot about going against impossibly powerful demons and somehow surviving and actually doing quite a bit of damage.
Well, those things do seem impressive. It's not exactly the kind of skills I'm looking for in my troops, so I'm gonna have to decline.
Alright, back to Iris for another test. What do you say now, Iris?
Oh, do you want to speak now?
No, I'm basically saying, alright, now what do we say? I've basically been giving you examples of how you talk, now it's your turn.
She looks towards and steps up and goes, if we cannot help you in any way, and if you are going to keep the ship busy at the very least, then what we require is at the very least transport, or a method to get up to the ship. Either way...
You're trying to get one ship up there and sneak inside.
Either way, we keep the ship busy. Even if we fail, we keep the ship busy and you're able to evacuate.
She takes out some kind of blueprint from her desk and starts laying it out. From what you can tell, it's extremely fucking detailed, and you immediately recognize that it's the ship that's up there. And she starts pointing to some specific points on the ship. The thing is heavily armored on all sides. Weapons, all sides. You cannot sneak up on that thing. It's a flying fortress.
It's designed to take care of other things of its size.
By the way, on the blueprint you can also see the inside of the ship and corridors, assuming it's all legit.
Just had a really dumb idea, but
Wait.
it's one of those ideas that's so stupid it might actually work.
Can I look over? Is there any, like, engines or something like that, or...?
From what you can tell, there is no easy access.
What about from above?
Not quite, nope. You can get on top of the deck, but that's about it. To be frank, well, it's not really much of a secret. but a man walked up to the guards and gave it to them randomly. They didn't manage to verify who it was.
Alright, Alyssia just rattles off a description of Logan.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
By the way, Iris is like, I knew it.
I just look like I'm face palming without
Wait, wait.
I
actually
ran this
face
by
palming.
some of our engineers, and when I did, they said that the layout based on the ship design seems to match up with a lot of things. So there's about a good 90 to 95% chance that this is very accurate. Since we have nothing else to work with, I'm using this.
Since can I like look it over very carefully with like investigation or something?
Sure, depending on what you want to do.
Like I want like something. He gave this map for a reason, so I'm looking for something out of place, something that doesn't really fit, which I may notice.
There seems to be a room at the lower bows of the ship that has been very crudely marked with an X. But it doesn't give any indication to what's inside that room. It's one of the spaces of the ship that's left completely blank.
It's a fucking dragon!